Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Man, I'm excited to have you guys here today. And hey, how did you enjoy the first 5 episodes? I had a lot of fun having those conversations and putting those together. And we had some amazing guests. We were able to talk about health and fitness. We were able to talk about mental health and grief and trauma. If you haven't checked those out, I encourage you to do so because they were definitely amazing conversations. And I hope it adds value to you and it helps you start the year on a right foot. And today, I want to bring you a solo episode, and I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is leadership. Some of you are like, of course, he's going to talk about this, and here we go again. But hey, listen, if I'm going to say some things that you've heard me say before, I want you to remember this. Zig Ziglar once said that repetition is the mother of all learning. And so if you're hearing it again, maybe make sure that you're taking it into consideration. Maybe you need to apply it. The second part of that quote, he says that repetition is the father of action, of all action. And so maybe we need to learn it, apply it, and then let us, transform our lives. And so this is the thing about leadership. I love talking about it because I think it's a misunderstood topic. It gets confused with management. It gets confused with positions and authority and bossing around. And we really miss out on the heart of leadership. Another thing is, I think that people don't realize their value in leadership and actually what makes a leader, who's a leader. And I want to talk about that a little bit today, because I want to add value to you and I want to make sure that you guys are stepping into the best version of yourselves and you're maximizing your potential. You've heard me say that before, right? But I'm very serious, guys. I want you all to understand that you guys have value. So this is what I want to do. I want to do a little bit of a thing where I want you to go look in the mirror. You can pause this episode if you'd like and come back to it, or you can take it with you. Go look in the mirror, and you're going to go see one of two things, okay? One, you're going to see a leader that is growing and developing, or you're going to see the making of a leader who's growing and developing. But you see the common denominator there? Both of them are growing and developing. I didn't say you're going to go look in the mirror and see no leader. No. You're seeing a leader because people who are leaders, everybody who's a leader, they're not born, they're developed. And so I want you to get out of your heads. I want you to get out of your minds that, hey, I didn't grow up in a household that encouraged me to be a leader, so I'm not a leader. I don't have the skills and talents of so-and-so, so I'm not a leader. I don't have a business, so I can't be a leader. I don't have a position, so I can't be a leader, so on and so forth. The reality is that you are a leader. You just have to develop it, and you have to grow it, and you have to invest in yourself. See, one of the misconceptions about leadership or being a leader is that we like to compare ourselves to people that are, maybe years ahead of us. And we compare to good and bad leadership. And the reality is that we got to stop comparing to those who, some of them do have some natural talent and some skill sets that have helped them become better leaders, but they've still had to work for it. And if they're not working on it, I assure you they will have to work on it, because leadership is a very challenging thing. And when you're leading people, there's an unpredictable factor of we don't know how people are going to be, how they're going to act, what they're going to say. And so that's what makes leadership fun. That's what makes leadership an art, because things can always be a little bit different. And so we got to stop comparing ourselves to these people, because everybody's in a different season, everybody's in a different position in life, and there's everybody has their own journey. And so I want to encourage you, first of all, to just pause and go, okay, I'm a leader, so what do I have to do? And let me also clarify something here, okay? Because leadership is about people, it's not about projects. You've heard me say that before. We're leading people, and people are interesting individuals, and like I said, you just never know what you're going to get. So, if you're going to pursue the development of your leadership, the reason I'm saying that that's important is because I strongly believe that whatever you do will never outgrow the level of your leadership. What do I mean by that? If you have a business, it'll never outgrow the level of your leadership. If you're working on a project, it'll never outgrow the level of your leadership. We can talk about your household. We can talk about, you know, organizational work, whatever it is. If you don't watch the development of your leadership, you will be the cap. You will cap that thing that you're doing because it won't grow. You instead of you know, pushing it forward, inspiring it, motivating it, helping it grow, you actually will stunt its growth. And I'm passionate about saying that because I believe 100% for it to be true. And so I want you then to think about, okay, I don't want to be a leader that caps. I want to be a leader that helps things grow and adds value. And one of the first things that you're going to have to do is just going to stop and say, okay, leadership is not a position. Leadership is not an authority position either. Uh, it- it's not a title. Uh, all of those are embedded into leadership, but that's not what. And you know, on the top, the first thing that comes to mind, that's not what leadership is. You know, uh, a boss is not a leader. You can have all those things and yet not be a leader. And I want you to understand that because we have too many people out there in positions right now that feel like they have arrived because they have the title, because they have the position, they have the authority. And the reality is that that's just not true. You can have all those positions and not be developed at all. And I've seen it way too many times where people are getting hurt. People are quitting their jobs because they're not being valued, because people are not encouraging them. They're actually doing the opposite. There's a lot of negativity in the workplace, in the organization, and whatever it is. And so it's really working against what the whole vision and mission is for your organization. And so it's important to realize that um, how you see yourself as a leader, and the fact that you buy into this idea that you got to invest in yourself and grow as a leader is very important. And so when you have that mindset and you have that understanding that that's what you got to do, you might be going, okay, so Walter, I get it. Somebody here who, you know, has something going for themselves, they might understand why leadership is important. But I'm getting started here. I actually don't even have anybody following me. I don't have people to lead. I don't even know where to start. Like, what in the world are you talking about? This is not for me. I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to hear me. John Maxwell says that leadership is influence, nothing less, nothing more. Do you have influence? Do you have influence in your inner circle, in the circle of your friends? Do you have influence in your family? Um, Maybe you go, well, maybe you don't have like the dominant influence, or you know, the very um, authoritative influence, but you do have influence and it can be developed. And so the fact is that you do have influence, and that does make you a leader. You just have to exercise it, and you have to master your craft a little bit. So what do you do if you're having troubles leading people? Or what do you do if you feel like you don't even have anybody following you? I want to encourage you to start with the man or the woman in the mirror. You need to start with yourself. This is one of the truths that you need to understand, that the hardest individual you'll ever lead is going to be yourself. It's not going to be the people that you're going to lead in the future, the people that you have right now. And if you think that's difficult, stop for a moment and think on how hard it is to lead yourself. How hard is it to create new habits sometimes? How hard is it to get you to think positive over negative? How hard is it to really just push yourself to be consistent and be accountable? It can be very tough. It's not impossible though. And so I want to encourage you to start by leading yourself. You got to lead yourself, and you start doing that by investing in yourself, by understanding the importance of personal growth. You got to understand the importance of about learning and allowing people to speak into your life. Um, that could be through a mentorship connection. That could just be through a group of people, multiple advisors or counselors around you that have the best interest for yourself and want to help you and see you succeed and win. And so I want to encourage you to think about that, because that's the way you start leading yourself. You start leading yourself into creating good habits, and start thinking, who do you want to become? What do you want to have in the future? What do you want to do? And start adding value to yourself in that way, so that you can prepare yourself to succeed. One of the best definitions of success that I've ever heard was, when preparation and opportunity come, you have success. So right now, what you can control is preparation. You can control getting yourself uh, uh, the right tools and the right resources. So when the opportunity comes knocking on the door, boom, you're ready. Success will be there for you, because now you have a team to lead. Now you have a project to lead. You have all these things that you've been desiring, and now you're ready to lead. And because leadership needs to start in the home. Leadership needs to start in the home. And I know some of you are probably rolling your eyes and you're going, what are you talking about, Walter? No, my leadership starts in my company. My leadership starts in what I do out there in my job, what pays me. Okay. Maybe you feel like that. But the reality is that if you're being double-minded, or you're being divided, meaning you're acting one way at work and a different way at home, can I tell you that you're dropping the ball? Maybe that's a little bit hard to say, but the fact is that you need to be consistent in everything that you do. And so leadership in the home matters. How you lead your kids, how you're leading in your marriage, how you're leading in all aspects of your life at home, with finances and different things, activities that you do. If you're doing well there, the character that you're building in that, and the habits that you're building in that, are going to follow you into everything else that you do. And I promise you, you'll see success all the way around. And I honestly think the true form of success is when you're winning in all areas of life. This wholeness concept, that you're leading your life as a whole, and there's consistency in that. And so I want to encourage you to think about that, because then you're going to go lead people. And when it comes to leading people, you want to add value to them. You want to serve them. They're not serving you. The leader serves his people or her people. And so when you're serving your people, you're going to add value to them. You're going to be generous to them. You're going to inspire them. You're going to be positive on them. You're going to teach them. You're going to coach them. You're going to help them win, because when they win, everybody wins. We have a saying at the Leader Co. It's a win-win when the leader leads well. And I strongly believe in that, because it's not just a singular topic. It's not about just you putting yourself on a pedestal in a position that allows you to win. No, everybody can win when you understand that leadership is about people, and it's about leading well. And so, guys, I believe in this topic so much that I have circled everything that I do around this. Like, my belief system of how much I care about leadership is circled around that. And I believe in it so much that I started a company around that. You guys know that I have the Leader Co. And the whole idea there is that we want to help people lead well. I have started this podcast, the It Matters podcast, with the mindset that I want to help you lead well. And yes, we're talking about other topics other than leadership. Why? Because we're coming back to that whole topic of wholeness, because everything matters. There's so many things that matter when it comes to leading well. Your health matters, your mindset matters, your positivity matters, your relationship matters, your home life matters. Like everything that you do matters that actually contributes to you leading well. And so that's why we have this leadership conversation, why we have this podcast, and to help you understand that, okay, prioritize how you view leadership, and then go and pursue personal development, pursue mentorship, pursue people speaking into your life so that you can grow. This is the thing, guys. You've heard this, probably me saying it before, or you've heard other people like it, this whole success, leadership, personal growth is not a destination. It's all about a journey, because you're going to be growing for the rest of your life. Because if you're not growing, you're going to actually be moving backwards. You're going to be decaying away. You're going to be dying. There's actually no such thing as standing still. And so I want to prepare you that as long as you have time on earth and you're breathing, you're going to have an opportunity to learn and grow. And so if you accept that now, then you're not going to miss opportunities. You're not going to miss out and tapping into your potential and becoming the best version of yourself, like I said before at the beginning of this podcast. And so have this growth mindset. Of course, have goals. Of course, have vision and dreams for the future. I want you to dream big, but have this growth mindset that allows you to invest in yourself. And you don't have to see the big picture. I mean, you don't have to know what's coming in the horizon. We're all in different seasons. This season will come to an end, and then you're going to enter a new season. And everything that you've learned, it's going to be like building blocks. It's going to continue to stack and stack. And when that time comes, you're going to be prepared for it. You're going to be ready, and you're going to be a great leader. People are going to be desiring to be around you. People are going to desire to learn from you. People will want to work for you harder than you ever imagined, because they're going to believe in you, and they're going to believe in the vision and mission of whatever you want to accomplish. But if you're going to develop your leadership, you have to do it with people in mind. You have to do it with people in mind. You have to do it with yourself in mind. You got to love yourself. And so then you can love others. And when you start doing that, I don't see how you're going to fail. Are you going to have some challenges? Of course. Are you going to have some hiccups? Are you going to hit some bumps on the road along the way? Of course you are. But you're going to learn. And that's what's important in all this. It's not failure. If you learn, if you actually choose to say, okay, I'm going to reflect on this. We did an episode on reflection. Remember that, right? This is where reflection comes in handy, because we learn what we want to pivot on, what we want to tweak, how we want to grow. And so I want to encourage you guys that you can do this. And so if you missed everything I just said in the last number of minutes, I want you to hear this. You are a leader, and you have the potential of being an amazing leader. You just have to go put some work into it and master this craft. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not a leader, to quit. Don't accept that negativity, because the fact is that maybe in this season you're not leading at the potential and the capacity that you're going to be able to, but the time will come. The time will come. So this season, invest in yourself, lead yourself, so then you can lead others. And I promise you that you're going to do great. And then the level of your leadership will allow you to then grow projects, organizations, whatever you do, to be able to do amazing things, because you're going to attract the right people. And so don't be the cap, be the the fan that fans the fire, to ignite this fire to just grow into out of control and create some amazing impact. And you're going to see this ripple. You're going to see this ripple take off, and you might not even ever comprehend the type of impact you've created. And so I hope this episode added value to you. Please think on that, consider it, work on it. And I appreciate you guys Our next episode, we're going to invite another guest, and I'm excited to just continue to add value to you guys, because all of this matters, guys. All of this matters. And you know what I would really appreciate too is if you guys go and like this episode, like the other episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to wherever you hear your podcast from, and drop a comment. Tell us what you want me to talk about in the future, maybe what type of guests. Remember, I want to encourage you in your mindset. I want to encourage you in your growth. And of course, I want to encourage you in your leadership. And so I'm excited that you're here. So keep at it, everybody. And I'll see you next episode. But until next time, remember to dream big, grow always, and lead well. Bye for now.